Ayer se vivió un día histórico en donde formalmente el presidente Biden decidió entregar la antorcha a Kamala Harris, quien en este momento, a través del DNC, de la Convención Nacional Demócrata, se convertirá oficialmente en la candidata a la presidencia por el Partido Demócrata con su compañero de fórmula, Tim Walz, el actual gobernador de Minnesota. No les voy a mentir, señores, para mí ver lo que vimos ayer en la convención a través de la televisión fue muy emocionante. Y todos los discursos llegaron al momento en donde Biden, llorando con su hija en el escenario, recibe a su hija con un abrazo y va y nos dice, se comunica con la nación para hablarnos de lo que ha hecho, de los desafíos que enfrentó como presidente cuando se le entregó un país en recesión, cerrado totalmente, con una pandemia que estaba matando de 3,000 a 4,000 personas al día, y de cómo se ve el futuro, cómo tomó la decisión de entregar las riendas a Kamala Harris para que ella se convierta en la oportunidad, en nuestro mejor chance para poder derrotar a Donald Trump en las elecciones. Fue un momento muy emotivo en donde personas incluso de la audiencia estaban llorando con Biden. Y yo no les voy a mentir porque yo también lloré. Y en este momento lo que voy a hacer es que recopilé los mejores momentos sin agregar a Biden, agregué los mejores momentos de la noche, los traduje, posiblemente no lo voy a traducir con voz, sino que van a tener que leerlos, voy a poner a trabajar, lo siento, pero quiero que vean los mejores momentos que nos dan la respuesta de por qué tenemos que votar demócrata en estas elecciones que vienen. Así que eso es lo que voy a hacer en este video. No voy a incluir el video del discurso de Biden porque estoy muy ocupada, porque estoy cubriendo la convención. Hoy es el día, hoy es agosto 20, es el día número 2 y también tengo que hacer lo mismo que estoy haciendo ahora. Voy a tener que hacerlo para darles un resumen de todas las personas que hablaron, lo que se dijo. Entonces es bastante trabajo. Así que si todavía no se han suscrito a mi canal, este sería el momento adecuado para hacerlo. No se olviden de darle like a este video y también comentar para que me ayuden a que más personas me encuentren. Pero volviendo al tema, no voy a incluir el discurso de Biden, que en mi opinión fue el mejor discurso que ha tenido durante su presidencia, donde le tapó la boca a los republicanos y un discurso que me puso a llorar. Incluso les confieso que amaneció, volví a ver el discurso y volví a llorar, porque a pesar de que estoy muy enojada, ustedes saben que yo estoy enojada con Biden por el tema de los palestinos, sin embargo, en mi opinión y en la opinión de historiadores, Biden ha sido uno de los presidentes más consecuentes en la historia de los Estados Unidos y precisamente por eso voy a traducirles posiblemente para la próxima semana, espero. No es una promesa, pero voy a intentar hacerlo. Voy a intentar traducirles ese discurso yo misma. Dejo que él hable y luego les traduzco yo para que ustedes puedan escuchar lo contundente que fue en ese discurso tan importante. Así que sin más ni menos, como no tengo mucho tiempo y voy a ir a la convención, al parecer, por ahora es lo que se está viendo. Creo que el jueves voy a estar por allá y por eso es que estoy más ocupada de lo normal. Entonces, por eso voy a simplemente, en lugar de ponerles la voz traducida, les voy a poner solamente el título traducido porque estoy un poquito ocupada. Bueno, no se olviden de suscribirse y nos vemos en el próximo video.
Hello! I'm Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and this This is Project 2025. Now, over the next 4 nights, you are going to hear a lot about what is in this 900-page document. Why? Because this is the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term. That's right. They went ahead and wrote down all the extreme things that Donald Trump wants to do in the next 4 years. And then they just tweeted it out, putting it out on the internet for everybody to read. So, we read it. And whatever you think it might be, it is so much worse. Tonight, I want to tell you about just one aspect of Project 2025. It's planned to turn Donald Trump into a dictator.
As a prosecutor, Kamala locked up murderers and drug traffickers. She will never rest in defense of our freedom and safety. Donald Trump fell asleep at his own trial, and when he woke up, he made his own kind of history, the first person to run for president with 34 felony convictions. As Vice President, Kamala sat in the Situation Room. As Commander-in-Chief, Kamala won't disrespect our military and our veterans. She reveres our Medal of Honor recipients. She won't be sending love letters to dictators. She will defend democracy and our Constitution and will protect America from enemies, foreign and domestic. Think about it. The Constitution says the president's job is to take care that the laws be faithfully executed. Those are the words of our founders. Take care. Just look at the candidates. Kamala cares about kids and families, cares about America. Donald only cares about himself. On her first day in court, Kamala said 5 words that still guide her. Kamala Harris, for the people. That is something that Donald Trump will never understand. So it is no surprise, is it, that he is lying about Kamala's record. He's mocking her name and her laugh. Sounds familiar. But we have him on the run now. Progress is possible, but not guaranteed. We have to fight for it and never, ever give up. There is always a choice. Do we push forward or pull back? Come together as we the people, or split into us versus them? That's the choice we face in this election. Kamala has the character, experience, and vision to lead us forward. Kept our eyes on the future. Well, my friends, the future is here. wish my mother and Kamala's mother could see us. They would say, keep going. Shirley and Jerry would say, keep going. Women fighting for reproductive health care are saying, keep going. Families building better lives, parents stretching to afford child care, young people struggling to pay their rent. They're all asking us to keep going. So, with faith in each other and joy in our hearts, let's send Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House. So, no matter what the polls say, we can't let up. We can't get driven down crazy conspiracy rabbit holes. We have to fight for the truth. We have to fight for Kamala as she will fight for us. Because you know what? It still takes a village to raise a family, heal a country, and win a campaign. And America needs every one of us, our energy, our talents, our dreams. We're not just electing a president, we're uplifting our nation. We're opening the promise of America wide enough for everyone. Together, we put a lot of cracks in the highest, hardest glass ceiling. My friends, when a barrier falls for one of us, it falls. It falls and clears the way for all of us. So for the next 78 days, we need to work harder than we ever have. We need to beat back the dangers that Trump and his allies pose to the rule of law and our way of life. Don't get distracted or complacent. Talk to your friends and neighbors. Volunteer. Be proud champions for the truth and for the country that we all love. I want my grandchildren and their grandchildren to know I was here at this moment, that we were here, and that we were with Kamala Harris every step of the way. This is our time, America. This is when we stand up. This is when we break through. The future is here. It's in our grasp. Let's go win it.
In 1940, to defeat fascist insurrectionists. And where Franklin D. Roosevelt was renominated by Democrats, in 1940, to defeat fascist dictators. Now, we fight in our time to defend our freedom and our democracy against the banana Republicans who have converted Lincoln's party into a dangerous cult of personality. You know, I'll never forget the pounding on the doors of the House chamber on January 6th, or the screams to follow. Hundreds of our police officers taunted and attacked, 140 of them wounded by extremists wielding baseball bats, steel pipes, even American flags. 5 people died that day, and 4 more of our officers took their own lives in the days and weeks to come. All of this after Trump was defeated by more than 7 million votes by the great Joe Biden. It was after 80 judges rejected every ridiculous claim raised by this sore loser who does not know how to take no for an answer from American voters, American courts, or American women. Remember what the mob chanted as they stormed the Capitol and injured our officers? Hang Mike Pence. Someone should have told Donald Trump that the president's job under Article 2 of the Constitution, someone should have told Donald Trump that the president's job under Article 2 of the Constitution is to take care that the laws are faithfully executed, not that the vice president is executed. Pence has now joined more than 24 officials from Donald Trump's own administration in denouncing him, an historical record. And Pence is the first vice president in more than 2 centuries not to support the president he served with in a general election. And by the way, J.D. Vance, do you understand why there was a sudden job opening for running mate on the GOP ticket? They tried to kill your predecessor. They tried to kill him because he would not follow Trump's plan to destroy and nullify the votes of millions of Americans. Make no mistake, a man who uses fraud, theft, and violence to take power will commit any crime to keep it. And now Trump's promising to pardon hundreds of his fellow criminal convicts and insurrectionists. He calls for, quote, the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those in the Constitution. My friends, are we the people going to let Donald Trump terminate our Constitution and obliterate the blessings of liberty for our posterity? That's right. We're going to elect Kamala Harris. And America, let's make it a landslide so big that Donald Trump and his kangaroo court Supreme Court justices cannot even try to steal it.
Our nation will hire a president, a commander-in-chief, and leader of the free world. So let's compare their resumes, shall we? One candidate worked at McDonald's while she was in college at an HBCU. HU. The other was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and helped his daddy in the family business. Housing discrimination, that is. She became a career prosecutor while he became a career criminal. With 34 felonies, 2 impeachments, and 1 porn star to prove it. Her entire career as an elected district attorney, attorney general, and senator, she's always worked for one client, the people. Meanwhile, he's a 78-year-old lifelong predator, fraudster, and cheat, known for inciting violent mobs. Listen, y'all, he's only looked out for one person, himself. As women are dying, he is bragging about overturning Roe. She's lived the American dream while he's been America's nightmare. America, looking at the 2 choices before you, who would you hire? Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris has a resume. Donald Trump has a rap sheet. She was the first attorney general in the nation to order that her officers wear body cams, and she started the Back on Track program to reduce recidivism. Listen, y'all, she did all these things because she genuinely cares about people. She sees each person as just that, a person, not a statistic. She's proven that since the first day she stepped into a courtroom and said what y'all already heard Hillary say, I did not copy off of her speech. I just want y'all to know. She walked into that courtroom and said, Kamala Harris for the people. And she meant that. Many of you know her credentials. But what I love about Kamala Harris goes beyond her resume. Is that she sees the humanity in everyone. She's the only candidate in this race who is capable of empathy. When I first got to Congress, I wasn't sure I made the right decision. The Chaos Caucus couldn't elect a speaker, and the Oversight Committee was unhinged. I was going through all of this when I visited the Vice President's residence for the first time. As I approached Vice President Harris for our official photo, she turned to me and asked, "What's wrong?" Mind you, we'd never met, but she saw right through me. She saw the distress. I immediately began crying. And the most powerful woman in the world wiped my tears and listened. And the most powerful woman in the world wiped my tears and listened. It's so hard for me to tell this story. She then said, among other things, you are exactly where God wants you. Your district chose you because they believe in you, and so do I. I'm gonna stop. Okay. The next month, I went viral for the first of many times to come. For hitting Republicans with a dose of their own medicine. That brief but impactful interaction gave me my legislative legs, and I've been running ever since. For a better America or not, I hear alliterations are back in style. We deserve better. We deserve a president who can be a bright light in a sea of darkness. One who will pull us forward, because we won't go back. Amanda Gorman said it best. There's always light if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. Kamala Harris showed me that light. And America, when she is our president, together we will shine as that beacon of hope and freedom around the world once more. God bless y'all.
And yes, I saw him holding the Bible and endorsing a Bible as if it needed his endorsement. He should try reading it. It says, do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with your God. He should try reading it. It says, love your neighbor as yourself. It says, inasmuch as you've done it unto the least of these, you have done it also unto me.
A chance to elect a president who is for the middle class because she is from the middle class. She understands the urgency of rent checks and groceries and prescriptions. She is as committed to our reproductive and civil rights as she is to taking on corporate greed. And she is working tirelessly to secure a ceasefire in Gaza and bringing hostages home. In Kamala Harris, I see a leader who understands. I see a leader with a real commitment to a better future for working families. And Chicago, we have to help her win. Because we know that Donald Trump would sell this country for $1 if it meant lining his own pockets and greasing the palms of his Wall Street friends. And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life. The truth is, Don, you cannot love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business. To love this country is to fight for its people, all people, working people, everyday Americans like bartenders and factory workers and fast food cashiers who punch a clock and are on their feet all day in some of the toughest jobs out there. You cannot love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business. To love this country is to fight for its people, all people, working people, everyday Americans like bartenders and factory workers and fast food cashiers who punch a clock and are on their feet all day in some of the toughest jobs out there. Ever since I got elected, Republicans have attacked me by saying that I should go back to bartending. But let me tell you, I'm happy to any day of the week because there is nothing wrong with working for a living. Imagine having leaders in the White House who understand that. Leaders like Kamala and Tim.
Y bueno, para mí estos fueron los momentos más contundentes y más brillantes de toda la noche, sin contar el momento brillante que tuvo Biden en su discurso, que se tardó. Biden entró tarde, después de las 11 de la noche, empezó mucho más tarde de lo que fue planeado. Los republicanos están criticándolo, diciendo que ay, lo ofendieron, ¿cómo le hacen eso al presidente? La persona más importante es la última en hablar cada noche, y Biden era la persona más importante para hablar en esa noche. Así que obvio, él tenía que ser el último, se extendió más de lo que se esperaba, pero incluso los televidentes tuvieron comparando el primer día de la Convención Republicana que vimos hace unas cuantas semanas y comparando la Convención Demócrata el primer día, la primera noche, tuvo un 21% más de televidentes que la de Donald Trump en la Convención Republicana. Así que dejen de estar hablando que si se extendió, que si lo hicieron tarde, aún así no lo hizo. El discurso de Biden no fue en prime time, que es a las 10 de la noche, lo hizo a las 11 y aún así tuvo más televidentes que el de Donald Trump. Pero bueno, los republicanos siguen quejándose. Bye. No se olviden suscribirse y de darle like al video y de comentar.